Well, hello. It was a very busy month of April over these last few weeks. Ever since last summer, my first priority for San Antonio has been to create jobs and opportunity in our city. And as folks are well aware, San Antonio has fared much better than most big cities during this national downturn, and that continues. During the month of April, we were pleased that Kohl's announced they're going to be locating 1,000 new jobs in San Antonio over the next 2 to 3 years, beginning with, it looks like, an initial investment of 200 jobs. These will be, many of them entry-level jobs, but some of them higher jobs as well, that are going to help fuel our economic comeback in San Antonio. I said at the very beginning of the year during my State of the City speech that I wanted to see us create in San Antonio 20,000 net new jobs for our community. And so for that, all of us here at the city, at the county, the Economic Development Foundation, and in the private sector have to pound the pavement to create that growth. We also, of course, continue to work on our quality of life issues. We want to make sure that San Antonio has a great quality of life, that our city is a big city that people want to live in because it's vibrant, because it's culturally rich, because people feel safe in their neighborhoods and they have choices of what types of entertainment they want to enjoy, what types of food they want to enjoy, what type of recreation they want to enjoy with their family. Part of that is creating a more environmentally sensitive perspective here. And so we were glad to work with the Fiesta Commission to this year create the first Green Fiesta. You may have noticed if you went out to NIOSA or one of the parades or the King William Fair that there were eco stations, places where folks could recycle. Instead of throwing away their plastic bottles, they could recycle them in one of those stations. I want to thank Mary Bija and Randy Bear from the Fiesta Commission, as well as our city departments, and the individual volunteers, many of them, that helped out. We collected several tons of recyclables, and next year it's going to grow even more. What we want to create in San Antonio is really an environmentally responsible city. Over the last 3 years, as we went to automated garbage and recycling pickup, we have seen the percentage of recyclable material in San Antonio that we actually do recycle go up from 5% to 18%, and we want to raise that at least to 40% in the coming years. The best cities, the most successful cities, places like San Francisco, are up near 70%. So we want to get it to a higher level and keep going. We also have a lot to celebrate in terms of the response on the census. Of course, folks remember that over the last several months, the U.S. Census Bureau has been making a big push, and we've made a big push here in San Antonio, to get folks to mail back their census forms, because it matters in terms of how much funding San Antonio gets for infrastructure improvements, so that road that you know needs improvement, or the sidewalk that is crumbling, our hospitals that need money to provide care, our schools. Much of the money that we get from the federal government depends on a formula that is based upon how many people are actually living in our community. In order to ensure that we get that federal funding, as we should, we need to make sure that everyone is counted. April 27th was the cutoff date to mail in your form. Now, if you haven't, the census workers and volunteers are actually going to go to your door, knock on your door, and try and get that form back. We hope that folks will answer their door, that they'll participate in the census effort. San Antonio right now ranks second among cities over 1 million in population, with a 70% return rate of the census form. San Diego is number 1 at 71%. Something to celebrate, but we're not there yet. Please answer your door and give them that census form. It's only 10 questions. It literally takes less than 10 minutes, and it's important for the community. And then finally, I'm speaking out on an issue of national importance. As you know, over these last several months, I don't usually do that. I've really focused on creating jobs and opportunity here in San Antonio, but I'm making an exception on the issue of immigration. And let me tell you why. San Antonio is a city today of about 1.3 million people, It's a place that really people have built up that have come from different countries, different backgrounds and perspectives, and have created a unique community where people work together, they live together, really in harmony, and have created something special. In Arizona, the state legislature there has passed a law that the governor signed aimed at illegal immigrants that I believe justifiably show some of the frustration of Arizonans, but really approaches it in a negative way, in a way that is prone to abuse and I think to profiling, and in a way that is already having a harmful effect on Arizona's economy. One legislator in Texas has sort of articulated support for introducing that kind of measure in Texas. I stand very much against that approach because I think it's bad for the economy. I think it takes frustration and turns that into something that divides people against each other. I think that the law, the way that it's written, is fundamentally less than American in its approach. The folks in Arizona are, of course, very, very good people, and they're very justifiably frustrated with the lack sometimes of federal action on this issue. But that's not an excuse to pass a bad law. What we need is a sensible, tough, national immigration policy, but one that recognizes the reality of the 12 million undocumented immigrants who are here, the vast majority of whom get up and go to work and do a hard day's work and contribute to our economy. I believe that we need comprehensive immigration reform, that you need to penalize folks, put them at the back of a line, make sure that they do a whole series of things, and then if they do those things, they can stay in the United States as United States citizens. I know that it's a very, very controversial issue, but Arizona has set, I think, a bad precedent and not one that Texas should follow, and it's one that could implicate the economy of Texas as well, and I feel compelled to speak out on it. I know it's a departure from the usual issues around San Antonio, but I feel very strongly about it, and I know that some folks agree with that and some folks don't agree, but I believe what we can agree on is that at a federal level, the federal government needs to come to a sensible position on this for the sake of the American economy and for the sake of 12 million folks who are living in the shadows right now. Thank y'all, and we'll see you again next time.